Sports bettors, we're giving away $1,000 today here at OddsJam, and that's in honor of the new fantasy screen that launched, which you can see right here. It's currently free to use. It's in beta mode, so you just go to Screen, Fantasy Screen. It's free to use. We'll talk about it here in a second, but basically what I did was I put together a 5-pick flex play. So I put together a 5-pick flex, and the way this is going to work is you can enter on either Twitter or YouTube or both. So the way it works is if this PrizePicks slip goes 3 for 5, 4 for 5, or 5 for 5, so if we win any money with our flex play, we're going to give $500 to one person who follows on Twitter as well as retweets, and then $500 away to somebody who subscribes on YouTube. So long story short, all we need is 3 out of 5 to hit. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 would obviously be gravy, but if 3 out of 5 at the minimum hit, OddsJam is going to be giving away $1,000. So $500 to one YouTube subscriber who comments on this video, as well as $500 to one person who follows OddsJam and retweets this on Twitter. So I'll include a link to this on Twitter if you want to enter on Twitter as well as on YouTube. But anyways, how does the OddsJam fantasy screen work? What are the picks we're going with? Right? So the way that PrizePicks works is you got to take a step back. The way that PrizePicks works, right, is they don't vary your payouts based on you selecting over or under. So you can see right here, for a 2-pick power play, doesn't matter if we take overs, unders, we're always getting a 3x payout, right? Any 2 picks you select, if we go over to, the NBA, doesn't matter. Any 2 picks you put in to a 2-pick power play, you're getting a 3x payout, right? So PrizePicks, they're not varying your payouts based on you selecting over or under. That's critical to understand. So what this fantasy screen does, which again is free to use, it's currently in beta mode, is it pulls the odds from sportsbooks, right? And it shows you the plays that have the highest probability of winning. So you can see the first play right here is Jose under 5.5 strikeouts, and he's pitching for the Astros tonight. You can also see this play on the OddsJam positive expected value tool. Right, so a lot of these plays you're going to see both on the EV tool and the fantasy screen. They work in slightly different ways, but what the EV tool does is very similar, right? It pulls odds from all the sports books as well as PrizePicks and shows you spots where sports books have an under. In this case, it's an under, or an over, heavily favored. So here you can see all the sports books have Jose under 5.5 strikeouts as the heavily favored outcome. So the sports books, right, the market, all of the data points in the market are telling you, hey, Jose's a lot more likely to go under as opposed to over, right? Which is why this is a great play to include in our PrizePicks entry, because it is a lot more likely to hit his under as opposed to his over. Right, so what OddsJam is doing is it's literally just scanning all of these NBA lines, all these MLB lines, pulling in all this data, and then just pointing out to you the spots where sportsbooks have an under really heavily favored or an over really heavily favored. And again, the reason that's so valuable is PrizePicks. They're not varying your payouts based on you selecting over or under, right? It's always this 3x payout. So the strategy to beating them is finding spots where all the sportsbooks are telling you, hey, the under is a lot more likely than the over. Here you can see Caesars almost has the under as a minus 200 favorite. They have this at minus 198. So all the data points in the market, Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, they have this at minus 183. So all of the sportsbooks, they're telling you the same thing. The under is a lot more likely to occur than the over. Right? So you want to include the under in your PrizePicks slip, which you can see on the EV tool and you can also see on the fantasy screen. So basically the way you use this tool is you just want to select the picks in green, right? All these plays that are in green are going to be profitable in PrizePicks Flex Play, but you don't want to include the plays in yellow or the plays obviously in red. So these kind of show you plays that are on, the edge. Maybe if, let's say there's some line movement in the game, this play on Kevin Porter over 4.5 rebounds will become profitable. It's not currently profitable. It's in yellow. You don't want to touch it. But, if the lines move, it could become good. So you basically just want to take these plays in green. OddsJam is just showing you the plays on PrizePicks where you can currently get a line on PrizePicks where the under or the over is heavily favored on the sportsbooks, right? Market knows all. right? We have, billion-dollar sports books, FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings. Their models are really sophisticated. They really know how to price these lines, and they're all telling you the exact same thing, right? There's no differences from book to book. Every single sports book, Fliff, BetRivers, DraftKings, Caesars, FanDuel, Pinnacle, right? All these books set lines independently, so we don't have a perfect answer as to what exactly should the odds be for Jose under 5.5 strikeouts, but it's really clear that the under should be the heavily favored outcome, so this is a great play to include in our PrizePicks flex. So long story short, the 5 picks I ended up going with are right here. Svi, over 20.5 points plus assists. Jose, under 5.5 strikeouts. Victor, over half of a total base. Stanton, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. And Austin Hayes, over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. Right? So you can retweet on Twitter, follow OddsJam. That'll get you a $500, entry. And you can also just comment on this YouTube video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then you'll also have a $500 entry. So OddsJam is going to be giving away $1,000 total if we go at least 3 for 5 with this PrizePicks slip. Again, just using the new fantasy screen to find plays, right, where sportsbooks are telling us, hey, this over or this under should be really heavily favored, right? In this case for Jose, it's his under 5.5 strikeouts, right? And then we decided to go with an NBA pick, not because I know anything about this guy. I've never heard of this player. No idea who he is. But you can see all the sportsbooks have his over 20.5 points plus assists as the heavily favored outcome. Around -140, -145. Lines are heavily juiced towards the over. So this is a great play to include in our flex. So here are the 5 plays I went with. Again, we go 3 for 5 or more. We're going to be giving away $500 on Twitter, $500 on YouTube. If people like videos like this, if people like these giveaway type of videos, we'll do more of them. Just let us know. Let's make money.